the Impulse R26 from France. Up over that first rock, nice and smoothly, just controlling his balance there. Up on the back wheel, he's got to go straight forwards onto that thin point in front of him. Nicely done. Just trying to keep his composure. Oh, just falling. He's managed to hold it on his foot. And the observers have given him a 5. He will be very disappointed with that. This is so difficult. Unfortunately, yesterday it was beautiful blue skies here in Aalter. And today it's rained all morning. So the sections have become incredibly hard, incredibly slippery. And it's really proved a huge challenge. Normally in the finals, the scores aren't quite so high. All the top riders have finished on very high points. So Aurelian's just making his way over to the start of section 3. So you can see here Aurelian's just making sure he really knows the section. It's so important to know exactly where you're going through the competition. Getting ready for the start of section 3. You can see there's a great crowd. Persevered the weather to be here to support their local rider Kenny, who's actually multiple world champion already. Here we go. Straight into that corner. This huge step up. Short run up. He's really got to get the power down perfectly smooth so he doesn't spin on the floor. Oh, narrowly missing it, but he's come back. You're allowed to take a few goes at the obstacles, as long as you don't go outside the tape. They're pretty strict on the rules, as you can imagine, the World Cup. They have to be very tight on the rules. Just 1 point there for just touching his pedal, but that's good. This is a huge power move up to that ledge. Yes. Right up onto the back wheel. He's about 4 meters off the floor there. Beautifully back down to the floor. Lining up for the next markers. You can see the little yellow markers just in front of the rock. That's basically the route that he's got to follow, the obstacles he's got to go through. Yeah, making light work of that. Aurelian's a very experienced rider. Like I said before, he's been junior world champion. And this year, I know he's been training very, very hard through the winter. On the back wheel, the crowd giving him some support. Just getting his foot down and controlling it. Bit of a technical dab. You're allowed to put your foot down and move your bike. So sometimes if the obstacle's too difficult, you may have to just put your foot down and move the bike around it. It's a very, very technical sport. Sometimes it's better to try and take a technical point and try and get through the section on a 1 instead of trying to clean a section and possibly falling off and taking 5 penalty points. The idea is, of course, to finish on as low a point score as possible. Line up hook in the front wheel. You can see there just opting to put the foot down. And they're all timed through the sections. They have 2 minutes 30 seconds. And when they go over the 2 minutes 30 seconds, they get a point every 15 seconds. And he's out there. I think he's out on 3 points. So he's going to be happy with that. That was a very good ride there from Aurelian Fontenoy. You can see in that slow motion shot there how accurate you have to be. Absolutely perfectly on the edge. So the way it's going to work is we've got these top 4 riders, Aurelien qualified in 4th place. When he's finished the 4 sections, then they'll bring out the rider that qualified in 3rd, Jack Carthy from Great Britain. So here we go, he's getting ready on section 4. This is his 3rd section of the super final here in Aalter. Composure on his face, looking at the obstacle. Oh, narrowly missing that. This is a very, very technical section, and in this wet weather, it is so, so difficult. You have to be massively precise. All about timing. You can see in his face the concentration. So close. So what he's got to do is go straight up. He's trying to get his back wheel on that lower branch you can just see on the tree in front of him, and then try and side up onto the top. Just getting his balance over to the right-hand side. Now he's going to be worried about time a little bit now. It's quite a long section, and like I said, only 2.5 minutes to get through all of the gates. Yes, there we go. Crowd getting right behind him. Nicely done. Now you can see how slippery those logs are. Nice control on the back wheel there. Look how thin that piece of wood is. He's going up straight onto that piece of timber. Lovely control, switching it through, just pushing that front wheel right over the top of the log. Here he goes. Yes, just making it. Oh, well held. He'll be happy he's managed to hold on to that. Then you can see how huge this next step is. He's got to go straight through that tree over to the left-hand side.
He's got to boost that bike up to speed and try and push it all the way up and onto the top of the absolutely huge stump there. That is above head height.
Beautiful ride there from Aurelien.
Very, very nice.
Here we go. Aurelien lining up for this next very tricky move. Big step up. Yes, and he's done it perfectly. Taking a dab. He's got his foot in the wrong place. He's going to have to try and move up to the right-hand side now. You can see that yellow flag just over to the right.
So now what you see, Aurelien is taking a dab. That's on purpose.
Using that technical dab.
Knowing that you don't want to make a mistake here, and then you end up with a
controlling his balance. Look how high he is. Right on the edge of that slippery piece of wood.
Another one. That's a strategic move.
And he's just out of the section. I believe that is for a 3. He's going to be pretty happy with that. Incredibly tough section there.
Is not one in each and every obstacle. It's one in all of them.
Yes, lovely slow motion replay there of that first very difficult move. So now he's on to the last section. This is section number 6 actually. Large concrete pipe section. Got some real big power moves in this. Okay, he's getting ready. Incredibly tough. You've got to remember he's already ridden the semi-finals and the finals today. Nice and smooth onto the first obstacle. This is a big step, a very short run up. It's about 1.30 m high, that block in front of him. So you can imagine that is a huge step. Yes, and he's done it very well. Going for a strategic dab there. The section goes round and up the end of that face there with the graffiti on it. And he's chosen to put his foot down instead of risk getting a 5. Try and get through the sections here. This next obstacle, very tricky. I rode this myself in the semi-finals yesterday. Unfortunately, I placed 11th and just narrowly missed out on the final today. Just a few points out. But the level now in trials is absolutely huge. All these guys are riding with so much power and control. Yes, and he's cleaned that nicely. He's very happy with that. He's got to go right the way across, big gap. Yes, beautiful. Pin that front wheel right into the corner. Excellent riding here from Aurélien Fontenoy, previous junior world champion. Really riding like he's at home. Nice and smooth, straight down to the floor. Now this next move is absolutely huge. I went and walked the sections earlier on. Have a look at the kind of obstacles these guys are hitting. There's a big kicker in front of it. It's really, really technical. Kenny managed to make it earlier on, and I think Gilles. Let's see if he can do it. Oh, just putting his foot down there. Very close. I think that's good. Looks like he's going to be out on 3 points. Straight away to the floor. Aurélien is going to be very pleased with that ride, I think. So there's just 1 minute's time until Jack Carthy, the next rider, comes out. The young gun from England. Jack Carthy is just 15 years old. This is his first year he's been able to compete in the Trials World Cup, and he's absolutely taken everybody by storm. His level of riding is absolutely outstanding, and he's really fired up for today's super final. He's an absolute powerhouse, so I'm sure we're going to see some really impressive stuff from him. See him there just on the stage. So for those of you that have just joined us, welcome to the first round of the UCI Trials World Cup here in Aalter in Belgium. My name's Andre Burton. I'm a trials rider as well. I was competing yesterday. Unfortunately, I narrowly missed out on the final.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go for Jack Carthy.
So here we go. Jack Carthy's rolling in to start his turn in the super final. We're coming at you live from extreme.com. Looks like he's very focused. There's a lot of pressure on this guy's shoulders. He's just 15 years old, and he's straight into the top 4 in the world. It's unbelievable. So let's see what he can do in these sections. You can see there the angle of his handlebars, very controversial. He twists them right over the front so he can get his weight right over the front of the bike. And you'll see that does give him quite an advantage in certain situations. The bikes are so specific now for trials. They almost bear no resemblance to a normal bike. There you can see his result from the final just around 20 minutes ago. Jack's very much a clean or nothing kind of guy. He likes to try every move. He doesn't like putting his feet down. Here we go, straight over onto that point. Very tense moments. Yes, just controlling his balance there. That was very close. Yes, perfectly over that first rock there. Now this next move in the final really caught some people out. We saw some big crashes earlier on from the Canadian John Webster, who just narrowly missed out on riding here in the Superfinal. Jack Aarthi, big pedal stroke, yes, and he's cleaned it. He's making that look so easy. Honestly, it's a huge, huge move. In front of it, it's about 1.35 meters high, and the run-up on this floor is absolutely terrible. It's making it so tough. Just getting 2 points on there. So you get a point for touching your pedal. Anything other than your tyres is counted as a point, whether it be a spoke, the pedals or the cranks. So the riders really have to be absolutely perfect. So you can see him there just hooking the front wheel over, trying to keep his pedals nice and back. The bottom brackets on these bikes are really high. Yes, and he's through there. Amazing riding from this guy, just 15 years old. He's got such a bright future ahead of him. Now this next rock, very, very tricky. And by the looks of it, there's a... Oh, they've given him a 5 because he's gone over the marker with his rear axle. And they've given him 5 points. He does not look very happy about that. He's riding so well. Doesn't look happy at all about that. You can see the crowds at the sides there moving as well. Just moving along to see him on the next section. So we're skipping out that concrete pipe section you just saw on the feed there. Going straight to the next rock section. You can see that his rear axle was just too far over that yellow marker. That's such a shame. So on to this next section. So Aurelian's just got out of that section on a 3. They've both 5'd the first section, so they're very, very close at the moment. Now he's got to try and keep his composure. His first big move. Oh, his cranks up. Yes. Excellently done. Made that look so easy, and we've seen the absolute top dogs in the world really struggle that move. Big side up right the way to the top. And he's straight down to the floor. Still clean through this section so far. Yeah, floating right over that rock. So Jack's already got various British titles, as well as being 3 times world champion in the cadet classes. In all the youth games, he's won everything. Yes, so smooth, making that look almost effortless. The conditions here really are very, very tough, with the rain that we've had overnight and this morning. Just nearly forgot where he was going then. It can get so confusing when you're going over all these rocks to try and remember. You get focused on the big, difficult moves. 1:20. So he's got 2:30 maximum. And he's taking a technical dab. I think that is a very, very good idea. If he can get out in this section for a 1, that is absolutely fantastic. Nicely down to the floor to just over this one last obstacle. And he's out the end, 1 point. Excellent ride there by the young Jack Aarthi from the UK, riding for Enter Bike. Excellent riding. This is such a huge move. You can just see on the replay. It's composure, perfect control on the back wheel. Big preload, just pulling that bike right up underneath him. He's looking really at home and really comfortable today, which is fantastic. I really think this guy's got a big future in competitive trials. So he's just walking this section, the big log section. Very difficult in the rain. All of it's very difficult in the rain. It really adds such a big element. There's Jack's dad there, just holding on to his bike, supplied by enterbike.com. There we go, so that's his scorecard so far. 5 the first section, 1 on the second section. A few words from his minder, Dave Kerr there. Oh, he's managed to hook the front tire perfectly, first try. Yes, nicely done, making it very smooth. Easy work of that. Slightly different approach to Aurelien Fontenoy. You can see he rides with his left foot forward. Aurelien rides with his right foot forward. So he's going for a big static side up, right up onto the top. Look how precise he is with the front wheel there, right on the corner of that log. Looking perfectly relaxed and controlled. Straight to back wheel. Excellent technique, really good control. Absolutely outstanding riding here from Jack Aarthi. So he's had to ride the qualification, the semi-finals and the finals already, and now he is here riding the super finals. What an athlete, 3 days of riding and he's still riding at this level, and he's just 15 years old. Yes, huge hook right up onto the top of that log. You can see that is literally nearly 6 feet high. It's absolutely massive. And he's just made it look so straightforward. He's really concentrated and in the zone here today. Yes, nice and smooth. This is where Aurelien took a dab. Put his foot down to pull the bike up through the markers. Yes, he's riding sensibly. Sometimes to win competitions, you need to ride sensible. You can see how muddy and wet his tyres are. Very happy with that. He is very happy with that. Well done, Jack. And that's his dad there. Always with him, always behind him. So, that's 3 sections down. He just has this one last final section. The tough concrete section. Big power moves, which I think suits Jack down to the ground. Look at that. Look at that hook in the replay there. Unbelievable. Fantastic technique. Absolutely brilliant. So for those of you that's just joined us on Extreme.com, this is going out live from Aalter in Belgium. This is the first round of the Trials World Cup 2012 with the UCI. We're here with Jack Aarthi from Great Britain, 15-year-old man of the moment, riding incredibly well. Currently, I think he's also winning the British Championships. I think, just ahead of myself. Closely in second place. Unfortunately, after riding the semi-finals yesterday, didn't have a great day. I placed 11th. And Jack doing incredibly well here. Fighting his way through for a podium finish in the first round of the World Cup. This is his first ever World Cup, so he's just doing exceptionally well. Now this step is about 1.30 meters. Yes, and he's absolutely flown up it. Now this next move is so difficult. Aurelian choosing to take a technical dab on it to try and get through to the end of the section. It looks like he's lining up to go for a clean. He's just checking the time there. Really important to keep a check of the time. Hooking his front wheel right over. Now, is he going to go for it? Look how steep that is. Sheer vertical wall. Got to keep his cranks off so he doesn't get any points. Can't touch his toes. Looks like he's going for the clean. Yes! He's right up. And the crowd is loving that. Absolutely incredible. He's checking the time. He's gonna have to get a move on. Come on, Jack, here we go. Yes, hooking that front wheel over. He's much more secure. Straight down. Big gap, just pushing that front tyre perfectly into the corner of that concrete pipe. Controlling his way right over the front of the handlebars. Here we go, a few more moves. Just checking the time there. Nice and smooth. You can hear him shouting in the background there. Just checking the time. Look at the size of that obstacle in front of him. That must be about 2.4 meters high. He's checking the time. Gonna have to put a lot of power down in this. Here he goes. Yes, he's done it clean. Incredible riding by Mr. Aarthi. Yes, he's ecstatic with that. So he's just had 1.5, a 1 and 2 cleans. He's incredibly happy. Look at that, his dad is absolutely made up. That is brilliant, outstanding riding from Jack Aarthi. He's really set the level actually for the next two riders, Gilles Castellier and Kenny Belay. So we have 30 seconds before Kenny Belay comes off of the stage and starts his bid to win the World Cup, the first round of the World Cup 2012. Now Kenny's actually not just a fantastic rider, and he's also nine times world champion, 9 world titles. Absolutely outstanding. And also this event here in Aalter has actually happened just because of his enthusiasm and his passion for the sport. He's a real inspiration. You can see the home crowds here going wild for him already as he comes into the arena. Looking really focused. You can see this crash, that slow motion crash. That's what happened right in the last section. He really came down hard. So that happened about half an hour ago now. Huge crash, so he's come back from that. He's fixed his bike. He's got himself sorted. And we're hoping for big things here for him today. So Kenny's recently just joined GT Bikes, his new sponsors. He spent a bit of time over in LA. Last week he was actually just over there filming with GT Bikes. So he has an incredibly busy schedule. He does many, many demonstrations and shows as well, not just competitions. He's just checking the course over. You can see how high that rock is. When he stands in front of it, it really gives you a good idea of just how big these obstacles are. You see his arms strapped up there from where he fell earlier on. That's Wesley Belay, his brother, also previous junior world champion. Incredibly good rider himself. Here we go, Kenny Belay. His home crowd's going wild. So much pressure on his shoulders. I know he really wants to do well. Here he goes. He starts the Superfinal. Massive amounts of concentration. You've got to be absolutely inch perfect, especially in this rain. I mean, it's just been such a shame. Yesterday was such a nice, beautiful day. Looks like he's really on it. Lovely control. You can see how muddy that floor has gotten now. Now this is a big, difficult move. Like I said earlier on, we've seen some pretty big crashes from this move in the finals earlier on. Everybody's so tense. Yes, and that's a 0. Nicely done. So he's coming up for the third major obstacle of the section. The crowd really getting behind him here. Yes, absolutely perfect. Well done, Kenny. Looks like he's suffering a little bit with that arm. These guys train so hard, 24/7. I myself train around 25 to 30 hours a week. Kenny just taking a 1 there. It's all practice, it's unbelievable. The amount of hours you need to spend on a bike to reach this kind of level. So this is where Jack Carthy's rear axle just gave him a 5 as he twisted round on the top of this point. Oh, and he's missed it. He is so disappointed in that. That's a 5 for Kenny. So here we go, he's on to the next section. So here we go. Kenny's on to the next section. Nice slow motion replay, you can see how precise you have to be on those rocks. Absolute inch precision. So far we haven't seen any rider get through that first rock section. So it leaves a bit of a window for Gilles if he can get through that one. That one hook just really proving difficult. I think Kenny's suffering with that left arm slightly. I think that's why he just twisted off that rock and just couldn't put the power through that arm to hold it stable. So he's just walking this section, getting to remember exactly where he's going. It can get pretty confusing. You can see the crowds here. All these guys have come to support Kenny. Despite the weather, they're still here in proud support for one of their country's top athletes. So I think he's got it in his head. He knows where he's going. So 2.5 minutes to get through the section. Kenny's going to be hoping for a clean here, I think. This first rock is so difficult, such a short run up. Taking a slightly different approach to Jack Carthy. Kenny rides with his right foot forward. You'll notice these riders, each rider has their own preferred foot that they keep forwards. It's just this first attempt getting a bit of a feel for the move. Here we go, come on Kenny. Just struggling with that rock a little bit. The crowd now really getting behind him, come on. I really hope he can make this. Yes, and he's up clean. Now he's going to have to really get moving through this rest of the section. Yes, lovely, up on the back wheel. And down to the floor. 1 minute, 10 seconds in. Yep, and he's still clean. Now this next move. Very difficult move. You can see him really panting for breath there. Trials is so physically demanding. You have to train all the time for this. Here we go. Yes! Excellent, so difficult with his right foot. Because he's a right foot rider, that's so difficult. Here we go, he really needs to get through this. He's on clean so far. He's got one last major obstacle here to get over. Choosing to take a dab there. These rocks are so slippery. Down to the floor. Just getting a bit confused there, you see. He thought he was going up the kicker, up the big blue A there. And he's through that for a 1. Very happy days. So far he is level pegging with Jack Carthy. Jack Carthy's really put the pressure on here. You see in this replay, absolutely perfect on that rock. And this one is so difficult. Uphill, upslope takeoff. It's so important that these guys get, well, all of us, get the right tyres, get the right compounds. We rely so much now on the products that we ride with. Kenny has a new Continental tyre. Loads of grip, loads of spring and loads of bounce as well to help get up these huge obstacles. Just walking over the 3rd section. Jack Carthy had such a good ride on this, finishing with just the 1 point. Just checking with his brother Wesley there. Some advice, making decisions on the best way to ride the section. And that last move is so tricky as well. You see this huge crowd here. Lots of support for Kenny Belay. Here we go, so entering section 3 of the Superfinal here at the UCI Trials World Cup. Kenny Belay fighting to be first. Yes, massive, absolutely brilliant line. We haven't seen any other riders do this so far. Everybody else has opted for the high line. That's a big power move that he's just done, straight up onto that, and he made it look effortless. So like I said, he's actually now riding for GT bikes, spending quite a bit of time over in America recently. But I know he always loves to be at home, be on his own rocks training here. Here we go, this is the big move, one of the biggest moves in the competition. The rock in front of him is nearly 6 feet high. So just imagine being on your bike and pedaling flat out at something that is higher than your own head. Here he goes, the crowd are behind him. Yes, absolutely perfect. He's really concentrating now. He knows that he needs to try and clean this section. Struggling with a bit of pain there by the looks of it in his hand. Here he goes, lining up for this last move. Really is a very tense moment here. Now Jack put his foot down, so did Aurelian. He's just getting a bit shaky. Look how small that is. He's opted to put the foot down. That is a very good idea. He's just trying to play it safe. He wants to get out of the end of the section. Yep, and he's out the end of the section. The crowd are going wild. They're very happy with that. So far, he is dead level with Jack Carthy. Now Jack Carthy cleaned the next section. So that's put Kenny under quite a lot of pressure. Means he's going to have to ride this next section completely clean to keep his chances of being number one. There's that replay of the hook there that he just absolutely flew up. So here we go, he's on his final section. Straight over the first two obstacles, no problem. Done this very difficult 1m30 step up. You see the concentration in his face. Oh, he just held that. Kenny, that was so close. Here we go, he's going for this big step. And he's put a foot down. He's taken a 1. I think that means so far he is 1 point behind Jack Carthy. Here he goes, he's going to try and go for the clean, I think, up this very technical, very challenging piece, or obstacle rather. Yes, and he's up, front tyre over. Yes, straight the way over to that next one. Making these gaps look so straightforward. He's really struggling with his arm there. He's digging in deep here. He's got some real pain. If anybody can make this, Kenny can. See the sweat dripping off of his nose. This is really intense. Come on, Kenny. The local crowd really behind him now. Come on, Kenny, here we go. Yes, straight up to wheels on the top. Scream of pain as he hits the floor. He's finished. He can go and rest. His arm's really hurting him there. I think he's going to need to take a bit of rest time after this competition. So as far as I can work out, I think he's 1 point behind Jack Carthy. The 15-year-old British rider, Jack Carthy, so far is in the lead. Only Gilles Castellier can beat him now.
30 seconds for Gilles Castellier.
30 seconds for Gilles.
He is out so, and he did this whole section with.
So for those of you that have just joined us, welcome to the first round of the Trials World Cup 2012. My name is Andre Burton. I'm your commentator for the rest of the competition today. We're on the last rider, Gilles Castellier from Martigues in the south of France. Multiple world champion Gilles here. He's very, very experienced. Let's see if he can keep his head. So far, nobody's made it through section 1. Everybody getting caught on one certain rock. Let's see if Gilles can do it. Just walking his way over now to the start. There's a great crowd here in Belgium. This is an absolutely fantastic event for the sport. Gilles just checking over the sections. He will have been over in the warm-up area, just keeping warm, keeping his head in the game. There's Claire, his wife, sorry. Always there for support for him. Just checking over the sections. Riding the #1 jersey, you can see he's wearing the world champion jersey. These guys have to work so hard. There's not many people in the world that get to wear a UCI world champion jersey. And I think by now he has a room full of them. So let's see what he can do. Everybody else so far has gone through on 5 points on this section. Will he be able to make it through to the end? Just staying right on the back wheel there. Everybody else going to 2 wheels. He's just making it look like child's play. Really good control there. There's literally only a handful of riders in the world that can actually ride these sections. And Gilles is making it look so straightforward. Here we go, the second major obstacle. Yep, and he's clean straight up to 2 wheels. Beautiful riding by Gilles here. Taking a different approach from the other riders. The other riders opting to pedal at it from the floor. This next one he's going to try and go from static on his back wheel to hook. Just jumping backwards there. Now these sections are tight on time as it is. Looks like he's going for the pedal up option from the floor. But it's so slippery on this floor. Yes, there we go. He's through clean so far. You see his wheel spinning as he pedaled up for that rock then. Now this next one is incredibly tight. Oh, and he's flown through that one. Absolutely outstanding riding here by Gilles Castellier, the current world champion. Now this next rock, Jack Carthy and Kenny Belay could not make it. Very, very tight. You see him just front wheel hooked over. Yes, and he's through clean. He's over that one. Now he's got this next waterfall section to go through. Here we go. On the back wheel, straight across, straight into the water. He's still clean. Hooking the front wheel over the top. Look how high he is, miles up there. Down to the roof of the VW. Yes, and he's out on clean. Unbelievable. Every other rider on 5, and Gilles has just gone through clean. On to section 2. He's going to be really happy with that. He's already got a huge advantage over everyone else.
Maakt hij minder dan 11 punten, dan is hij de winnaar. Zo simpel van hetzelfde.
Outstanding riding there from Gilles. So Gilles is just checking over the sections there. We come at you live from extreme.com, broadcasting live from this event in Aalter in Belgium, where Gilles is putting his bid in to be #1. He's already world champion. He's won many world champion titles. He's 26 years old. And he's from Martigues in the south of France. Very committed individual. And his brother unfortunately couldn't be here, Giacomo Castellia, due to a large injury that he sustained. Really bad injury he sustained last week. Yes, and Gilles making that so nicely, that first move. First time. Up onto the top of that rock. Oh, it looked like his brake just slid slightly then. You can see how specialist the bikes are. No seats, ultra low frames. The wheelbases are much longer than a standard bike as well. The brakes, you'll hear them squeak, and that squeak, that loud, high-pitched noise, is basically because the brakes are so powerful, they just instantly lock on. So you rough up the surface with an angle grinder. They have specially designed brake pads so that the brakes don't move. You can imagine being on all of these little points. You want your brakes to be absolutely solid so that you don't move. Up on the back wheel, and this is a tricky bit. Getting the front wheel right up on top. He's managed to get right the way round. Yes, and straight up to back wheel. Incredible control. Really keeping his composure through this section. Now this last rock, everybody so far has put a foot down on it. Very tricky. What is Gilles going to do? He's got to try and get his front wheel hooked over the bottom of that slope and then twist 90 degrees up to the left. He's opted to put a foot down. Very sensible riding. That's his first point of the competition. Smoothly down to the floor. Just over this last rock. And he's out on just 1 point. Just 1 point. Some words from Claire there. He's got to keep focused. He's halfway through. Anything can happen still. So Gilles making his way to the third section now. 2 outstanding rides. Cleaning that first section. At this stage, he is well ahead of the opposition. Incredible composure Gilles has got here. He's got such a good head for competitions. You see that's his result from it's his scoreboard from the final from earlier on. First lap of 25, second lap of just 8 points. But anything can happen. All it takes is one tiny slip, and he knows that just as well as anyone else. He knows all it's going to take is one tiny slip, and that's it. He's out of the game. So it's a long way from over yet. So this is section 3, the log section. He's opted for the same route as Kenny, off that concrete, straight up to the wood. Yes, just landing right up on top of it. Up to back wheel, putting his front wheel right on the edge. Inch perfect. He's so well composed right the way through this section. Here we go for the big hook now. This big step up move, nearly 6 feet high. You see him getting his composure together. Oh, and he's just put a foot down. That's okay. He's still well ahead. He has this last bit to get over. Checking the time of the section, just 2 minutes 30 to complete it. This next step is absolutely huge. That bottom bit that they've got to jump up onto, even the lowest part is at least 1.35 meters. Well over 4 feet high, this. Yes, straight up to back wheel. Putting his front wheel in nicely. Pressure's on, he really needs to keep his concentration on this. You can see the angles of those logs. It's not like they're just flat surfaces. Yes, really steep, getting his front wheel right the way around. Yes, he's done it. He's cleaned that section. He's got 1 point just before on the hook. He's well ahead of the opposition, the only rider to get through that part of the section clean. Incredible riding from Gilles. So far, if he can get through this section, he will have won, but it's still very close with Jack Carthy. Unbelievable, Jack Carthy on the podium. Guaranteed on the podium now at just 15 years old, his first ever World Cup. He's only just old enough to ride these events. You can see there, just in that replay, just had his weight slightly to the left. Such a difficult move there, unbelievable. So, the last section, fourth section of the Superfinal here in Aalter. You're with us live on extreme.com. And this is Gilles Castellier. Yes, straight up that block. Now this is the big hook. Kenny took 1 point on it. Jack Carthy managed to clean it. Yes, he's cleaned straight up. Made that look incredibly easy. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. That is about 5 feet high, short run up on horrible wet grass with no traction. He's got to really keep his head in the game here. Yes, just holding his balance on the top. This next huge gap straight across. Nicely holding it. So smooth. He needs to make it out of this section. Pushing that front tire right into the corner there. Just checking the time, making sure he's got enough time for this last move. Now here we go. If he can make this, he has won the first World Cup 2012. He'll go straight into the lead. MC there getting the crowd going. Concentration in his face. Here we go. Straight to the top, pedalled off that. And he's out the end. He is the winner of the World Cup, the first round here in Belgium in Aalter. And he takes the lead with another 4 events to go. There's Kenny there chatting to Jack. Kenny's actually Jack's new sponsor. He's seen his talent. Massively impressive ride there by Jack Aarthi. And Gilles is going to be incredibly happy with that. Some outstanding riding there. Such a good atmosphere here at this event. Big thanks to all the sponsors. Without the sponsors, this event would not happen. And without Kenny Belay, this event wouldn't happen either. Thanks to a huge input from him, this event has been able to happen.
Wij dames en heren, allemaal naar het podium nu voor de ceremonie. Allemaal naar voren komen aan de rondte.
So in a couple of minutes, we're going to go over to the award ceremony. So we're just waiting for the award ceremony now. They're just getting organised before they do the podium. Gilles there, very happy. Kenny did incredibly well, especially considering that huge crash he had earlier on in the final. Don't forget, we're going to be also covering on Extreme.com the next Belgian leg of the World Cup on the 19th of August. So we're just waiting now. There's a big crowd assembling in front of the stage. And next up, we still actually have the 20-inch finals. They're going to be kicking off shortly after this ceremony. So don't forget, the 19th of August, join us again for the next Belgian leg of the World Cup. It's going to be round 3 of the Trials World Cup 2012. See if Kenny can get back on form.
Where's the MC?
Kenny. See Kenny there looking for his friend MC. Jack Aarthi taking his place on the podium. He's going to be absolutely ecstatic. It's unbelievable. The age of 15 years old, and he is on the world podium. Kenny there's 27 years old. Vincent. Sorry, not Vincent. Gilles is 26. And Jack just 15. You can see the big crowd there in front of the stage here in Aalter. Gilles looks very pleased with himself there. Outstanding riding yet again. So the presenters are just getting ready. Although I'm sure Kenny will be a little bit disappointed with not being number 1. I'm sure he's pretty happy with the fact he can still move after such a big crash, and he managed to actually ride the Superfinal.
En die watervallen springen, die is echt weer opkomen. Ik zat al op die steen boven, dus daar al, dat ging nog slecht geweest. Dus mijn auto en... ja.
DJ, Mike een beetje stoer. Ja, oké, dames en heren, we beginnen onze ceremonie voor de 26 na de superfinale. Mike ze met een daverend applausje op het podium.
So here we go, we're going over to the stage.
Jack, Kenny Belay en Gilles Costellier. Dat zijn onze finalisten. We hebben de superfinale gewonnen. Alright, en de ceremonie wordt gedaan door de schepenen van sportiers. En we gaan overgaan. Ladies and gentlemen, in third place from Great Britain, Aarthi Jack. 15 jaar is die gast, eerste deelname aan een wereldbeker en staat op het podium. Ja, congratulations. Alright, dames en heren, I give you Aarthi Jack of Great Britain. Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, met een barst in de elleboog vandaag. Second place from Belgium, Kenny Belay. Alright, and then ladies and gentlemen, our winner today from France, Gilles Costellier. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the top 3 of the World Cup Aalter 2012. DJ, nummer van Frankrijk. Ah, oké.
So there we go, that is the final presentation. The winning podium for the World Cup here in Aalter, in Belgium. Gilles Costellier, massive well done to him. Huge well done to Kenny Belay, and especially Jack Aarthi from Great Britain. Incredible riding. Don't forget to catch up with us again for the third round of the World Cup. It's going to be in Antwerp, Belgium on the 19th of August. So check us out live on extreme.com. I've been Andres Burton, and thank you very much for listening.
Alright guys, thank you very much. Later kunnen jullie ook foto's nemen. Alright, dames en heren, dit waren de winsten. We gaan ook één prijs weggeven, de All Real Jersey. Alright, give your flowers. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. And now we call on stage Gilles Coustelier of France from over UCI World Cup Leaders Jersey. Dit is al met de hoogste punten en het is de bedoeling om elke week deze strijd te mogen behouden. Voilà, ik zou zeggen, geef hem nog een daverend applaus, dames en heren. Gilles Coustelier from France! Merci. Dames en heren, dankjewel voor jullie massale opkomst. Maar we hebben het nog niet gedaan. We doen nog de finale van de 20 inch. En dan doen we de superfinale van de 20 inch. Dus we hebben nog tot 7 uur, dacht ik, trial hier in Aalter. Ik zou zeggen, blijf rustig even hartelijk voor vanavond. Ik zeg aan Volkswagen Vehicles, de mensen hebben heel veel moeite en geld gedaan hier om dit te kunnen doen. Ook Enterprise.com, de gemeente Aalter niet te vergeten. Dikke dankjewel aan de sport, de schepen van sport en aan alle andere schepen die te maken hebben. En dan hebben we natuurlijk onze eigen sponsors, zoals Adidas en Red Bull. Dan heb je ook nog andere kleinere sponsors die veel gedaan hebben. Dus zeg dankjewel en geniet van de finale van de 20 DJ. Is up to you.